and welcome to Monday Ignition. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I have a really powerful question for you, some perspective for you, and something that I'm really excited about on this Monday morning. The question is, are you ready? How often do you ask yourself the question, are you ready? Or let's say you're leading somebody and you say to that individual, are you ready? And they're like, yes, I'm ready. But are you really ready? Is that individual that you're leading, are they actually ready? How do we know? In order to get ready, you have to stay ready. Have you ever heard that? In order to get ready, you have to stay ready. Oftentimes people might say, I'm ready, like, oh, yeah, I could step up and handle this if I really needed to. Or you need me to do X, Y, and Z. Yeah, I'm ready to do that. But in order to be ready, you have to prepare well before that moment. You may actually have to show up. I mean, you talk about real standard over feelings. You may have to show up when you don't feel like it, doing the things day after day after day after day, maybe not even knowing if you'll be given the opportunity. And many people will say they're ready, but then when their moment comes, because they have not done the things they know they needed to do, or they've been telling themselves they've been doing it, but it really wasn't to the standard, they're not actually ready. Something happened over this weekend, and it's a story that I wanted to share because I'm just so proud of this young man. But I've had the opportunity to work with Mac Jones for 8 years, all the way back to Alabama. And you talk about an individual who's always stayed ready. Let's think about his start at the University of Alabama. And I think this is an amazing example for all of us. My first year at Alabama, he was the third string quarterback behind Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa. Probably wondering, will I ever get a chance? He always stayed ready. Jalen and Tua, many people know their story and the great things that they both did. Mac Jones waited and waited and waited, always doing the little things in order to stay ready. And when it was his team and his opportunity to compete against Bryce Young, he ended up winning the starting job when people said that he wouldn't win it because he stayed ready and he didn't live to his feelings up until that moment. He'd been working for that moment for years in order to earn the opportunity to become the starting quarterback. In order to win a national championship, to win a Davey O'Brien, to be a runner-up for the Heisman, he had one of the greatest years in the history of college football, national champion, leader of that team, because he stayed ready. Goes into the NFL, drafted number 15, actually overlooked, even though they said they were going to draft him. We thought on draft night that they were going to draft him at number 3. The 49ers overlooked. They take Trey Lance. He goes 15th, has a great all-pro rookie year, goes to the playoffs with the Patriots. And then there's a series of things that I cannot get into for privacy reasons, things that I know that happened. And he stayed ready with the Patriots, even though timing wasn't right and personnel wasn't right and there were coaching issues. And then he goes down to the Jacksonville Jaguars and then finally gets traded to the 49ers this offseason to be Brock Purdy's backup. How many people through all that adversity would say, hey, what does it take to be a backup quarterback? No big deal. I'm probably not even going to get to play. And then there's others who say, regardless of the circumstance, regardless of my feelings, regardless of if I feel the time is right, I'm just going to stay ready. So when Brock Purdy got hurt in week 1, Mac Jones had to be ready at that point. You see, Mac Jones couldn't go back to the beginning of training camp when the season had already started and say, oh, had I known Brock was going to get hurt, I would have actually done more leading up until this point. No, he prepared to be a starter every day, even though the depth chart told him that he wasn't. That's what a true professional does. So as we built up to what many people saw yesterday, having the opportunity to start again, with an unbelievable group of weapons on offense, just like his Alabama days. We just encouraged Mac to just go be Mac. And I knew and he knew he had prepared for that moment, even though these last few years have been very hard and most people would have stopped working. And Mac went on yesterday to have one of the best performances of his career, 280 yards, 3 touchdowns. And I put it on my story yesterday. I loved seeing him in victory formation at the end of that game, knowing so much that went into that moment. You see, for you, are you telling yourself, oh yeah, I'm ready to attack the end of the year? Or have you actually been putting in the work? You see, because if words are just words and the action hasn't been following, I don't think you're going to be happy with the results. But if your words are always backed by action and you truly stay ready for every opportunity, then I believe this is going to be one hell of a finish to your year. If you've been telling yourself you're ready, because I'm not calling anybody out here, nobody can see you. But if you've been telling yourself you're ready, you're going to attack, but you really haven't been doing what you know you need to do, reconnect today for me, would you? Reconnect today back to what you know you need to do. And let's get back to stacking days so that when opportunity, the door of opportunity gets beaten down by you not waiting for opportunity, you beat down the door of opportunity because of preparation, you will finish your year strong and you will be ready. This is Monday Ignition. I love the opportunity to kick off every week with each and every single one of you, especially when there are these continued success stories of individuals that I've had the blessing of working with for almost 20 years that continue to do the little things and stay ready because of great discipline, even when they don't feel like it, even when you don't feel like it, even when I don't feel like it. Discipline wins, standard over feelings. Let's go get this day.